toys, treats from brands your pets love. All new, all at great prices, all at one place. So come in to save time and money. Leashed pets are always welcome. Shop in-store or online. Tractor Supply, your one stop for pets out here.
Colorado, it's time to take our recycling to the next level. That's why Recycle-On Colorado is bringing you more curbside and drop-off service from peaks to prairies. Guidelines as clear as our skies, so you know what goes where. And the price? As free as gawking at bighorns on I-70. You deserve a recycling system you can count on, like your puffiest winter coat. And we're here to give it to you. Learn more at recycleon.org/Colorado.
Progressive provides protection for your boat and other outdoor vehicles so you can explore new things.
Oh, I can finally try pesto.
We meant like water skiing.
I've just never had pesto.
Or maybe take the boat somewhere new.
I mean, is pesto spicy or sweet? Oh, guess we'll find out, right?
Right. Bundle home or auto insurance with your boat, RV, or motorcycle and stay protected with Progressive while you explore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready for pesto.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
The truck driver wasn't paying attention and crashed straight into you. Now you're paying the price. You're looking at surgeries, missed work, and more. Call the truck crash lawyers at Berg Simpson Law Firm. Berg Simpson has been helping truck crash victims for 50 years. And with over $50 million recovered after truck crashes, our results speak for themselves. Call our team today and let us fight for every dollar you deserve.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives.
Switching your account numbers is hard. Being forced to switch, even worse. That's why at Belco Credit Union, we want to pay you to switch. From June 1st to August 31st, we're offering a $300 bonus when you open a new checking account with a qualifying direct deposit of $500 or more. They changed your account number. You can change who you bank with. Go to belco.org/switch for full offer details. Insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility required. Conditions and restrictions apply. Belco. Banking for everyone.
Skip this year's front porch roofing circus and bring in the local professionals.
Visit us at DenverRoofPros.com.
No matter if it hails, rains, or snows, nobody knows your roof like the Denver Roof Pros.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. General contractors, are you tired of working with 8 different subs for a single project? Homestrong is the answer. Their crews handle excavation, foundations, waterproofing, crawl spaces, and flat work. Visit buildhomestrong.com. You'll never go wrong with Homestrong.
Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. Powered by Regen RX. It's The Drive with Zach By and Philip Lindsay. Welcome to Denver Sports Tonight, taking a look at the biggest stories in Denver sports. From your online home for the best opinions and information on the Broncos, Nuggets, Avalanche, Rockies, and more. DenverSports.com.
Dante, you didn't do it to him, baby. I love it. I love it. Welcome to another edition of Denver Sports Tonight. I'm your host, Justin Adams, and well, my brother Dante Gomez playing some of this great music this evening. Hey, I hope you're having a really good time, by the way. Know it's Friday night and everything. We're going to call this actually date night tonight. It's not Denver Sports Tonight. It's date night tonight. Because long and short of it is this way. Look, whether you're out getting ready for your date, whether you're still waiting for those reservations, whatever they are, go and enjoy yourself tonight, man. We're glad to be here with you for the next hour or so. We got a lot of different things to talk about, starting off, obviously, with the Denver Broncos. Training camp's right around the corner. Did you realize that? Did you realize that training camp is less than 2 weeks away? The Rookies report. It's crazy to be able to think about that.
Yeah, it's getting here. It really is, and it's always that last, week or two of July, and we've kind of been able to skate by a little bit because usually this is the dead time of sports, but we got the World Cup in there, which was fun. We got Summer League kicking off, so always something to get into. But yeah, we are right next to the most exciting time of the year.
Yeah, nothing screams more of the middle of summer than watching Summer League basketball. Nuggets are playing, by the way, right now against the Houston Rockets. And no, we're not going to give you the score. We're not that bored. But we are going to give you this. Everybody keeps asking whether Jalen Waddle can get back to the explosive receiver that he was. And let's be honest, he's a really, really good receiver already, which is the reason why the Broncos traded for him. But you know what? If you hear people comparing what he could be for this Broncos offense, and you heard Philip Lindsay just say it a couple of moments ago, that in a race, Jalen Waddle actually beat Tyreek Hill. Neck and neck, he says, okay? Now, trust me, Philip Lindsay, he played for Miami at the time, so that's firsthand knowledge. He would know these things, okay? But instead of comparing Jalen Waddle to Tyreek Hill, I think we need to compare him to somebody else. Actually, a player that played 20 years ago, was traded actually 20 years ago. Back in 2005, the New York Jets traded for Lavernius Coles, and the Jets gave to Washington, we're going to say the Washington Commanders right now, they gave him Santana Moss, and that was back in 2005. By the way, throw up the U, by the way.
Yeah, that's my guy, Santana Moss.
He's a bad boy, wasn't he?
Oh, my goodness. I mean, you ever seen the U documentary, 30 for 30?
Yes.
Woo! My dad was a big Miami fan, so I grew up a Hurricanes guy as well. But yeah, Santana Moss. I mean, in that doc, he even talks about he was a fast guy.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about he was running track in the offseason, all of that.
Now, wasn't he one of the guys where I believe Butch Davis at the time, did he play under him because he had to run track? Like they had to use track scholarships?
I think that, I think that is right.
Well, they were able to go and get him. And by the way, Santana Moss in 2005 when he was traded, he had 84 catches for 1,483 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 17.7 yards per catch. It's pretty good, okay? He became the vertical weapon that completely changed Washington's offense. How about for Jalen Waddle? His best season was in 2022, 75 catches. He had 1,356 yards and 8 touchdowns. But that year, he led the NFL with 18 yards per catch. So the talent is there. When I think of what has to happen this year, and I want to see the best season for Jalen Waddle, I want to see him play like Santana Moss did in 2005. Because if that happens, Dante, you completely change the way that this Broncos offense looks in every way. And oh, by the way, remember that Sean Payton article from earlier this week where he admitted that, yeah, this is a defensive team? It will shift immediately to an offensive team. And that's the way you win Super Bowls.
Oh, that's exactly where I was going to take it. Was last year it felt like the defense was bailing out the offense for most of the games. Every once in a while it's the opposite, like that New York Giants game.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Bo Nix goes nuts in the fourth quarter, and they come back and win that game. But for the most part, it was the offense was struggling. Defense bails them out, keeps them in the game long enough, and then the offense figures it out in the fourth quarter. I think this year it's going to be we're going to flip that script a little bit, and the offense is going to be the one bailing out the defense more often than not. And Jalen Waddle is going to be the biggest contributor to that. And to me, you're talking about the yards per reception. I think the downfield attack, which has been, I would call that Bo Nix's Achilles heel so far in his NFL career. Yeah, he can go out and play backyard football. He can move out of the pocket. He's accurate on a lot of his passes, very high completion percentage, but the downfield passing hasn't quite been there. I think Jalen Waddle could solve a lot of those problems.
And it's much needed for the Broncos because when you talk about explosive plays, the Broncos were just middle of the road. That's exactly where they were in the NFL. Get this. They were 15th in plays run or pass of at least 20 yards or more. 15th.
It actually surprised me they weren't lower.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. I'm actually trying to think back in my mind. I'm like, wait a minute. They were actually that good? Because it didn't seem that way. It didn't seem like they had those explosive plays. You had a couple, obviously. Marvin Mims was able to give you some. Cortland Sutton, I remember that, flea flicker against the Chargers. Was able to go and score on that one. But to your point, one of the biggest things that was talked about last year, especially with Bo Nix, is he will often overthrow guys on deep passes. Or that for some reason it just didn't connect. And for a team that had the most passing attempts last year, Dante, I would expect a little bit more than just being 15th.
Yeah, no, I would too, especially with the weapons that you have and the way, and you brought it up at the end of the drive there, but the way defenses are going to have to play these guys now, where you do have a legitimate weapon on the left side, a legitimate weapon on the outside, or on the opposite side. You got a good running game with J.K. Dobbins while he's healthy as well, and then you got R.J. Harvey kind of being that X factor that can do a little bit of everything. I think that's going to keep defenses very honest, and hopefully Bo Nix is able to diagnose those defenses quickly, getting the play call in even quicker with Davis Webb. He's able to get to the line of scrimmage, figure out what he wants to do, and really take advantage of that. But I imagine Bo Nix is going to really enjoy playing quarterback this year.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. I mean, obviously we have really good receivers, and you could be able to throw just to a spot. You have your receiver run right under there and going for 6 always helps out. But how does this happen, okay? How does Jalen Waddle have his best season of his career, just like, I don't know, Santana Moss did back in 2005? By the way, that season for Santana Moss that we talked about earlier, that was the only year he was a Pro Bowler, and also his only year he was an All-Pro. Would be nice to see Waddle hit those numbers as well. But this is some of the things that needs to happen, okay, Dante? I'm going to run them by you one by one. Let me know what you think, okay? Davis Webb, or pretty much Sean Payton, whichever you want to go with, okay? You can't force feed Jalen Waddle. You have to have him a part of the offense. You don't force feed him, okay? Another thing, you got to move him around. Have him in the slot. Have him outside. You can have him even in the backfield, right? Jet sweeps, whatever you want to do. Like, there's so many other different things that you could do to be able to get him the ball. Like, those are the things you have to do. Just move him around the field to be able to get him open. Another thing that helps out a lot, especially man-to-man coverage, those crossers. Tough to be able to defend those crossers. And even in zone, Waddle can find that area in the zone, sit down, catch the ball, turn it up, and let's go. Those are the things you could be able to do. Deep overs, double moves. I would love to see double moves in this offense next year. What do you think about those different things that needs to happen from the Davis Webb, a.k.a. Sean Payton-led offense?
Well, there's one thing that you didn't describe there, which we saw a heck of a lot last year, and I'm curious what your thoughts are on how much we're going to see this year. Screen passes.
Yes.
And I know Broncos country got very frustrated with Sean Payton by the end of the year with how many screen passes we were seeing. Do you think we see whatever the opposite of uptick is, a downtick in screen passes out there? Or do you think we see a similar amount, but maybe Jalen Waddle is that difference maker where it's like, hey, it's not about the X's and O's, it's about the Jimmies and Joes, and Jalen Waddle's going to beat his guy on those screen passes?
Screen passes aren't bad. Screen passes aren't wrong. They were just overused a lot. But if you look at the offense, the way that it has worked for Bo Nix, go back to his rookie season, he had a lot of success with those screen passes. Think about the Atlanta Falcons game. Remember back there in 2024? Had a lot of success with those. I mean, little Jordan Humphrey still catches some of those passes, right? So, yes, screen passes are important to use, especially when a team has to back off of you because you have so much speed. You could be able to go and pick up some cheap yards. And if the blocking is right, that's another explosive play just waiting to happen. And now what do you have to do as a defense? Well, now we have to come up. Now we have to go on, okay, we got to watch that, and we got to watch the screen, and right over our head again. So it just keeps defenses really, unbalanced. And that's exactly what you want when you have an offense. You want to be able to go and keep the defense off balance. They have no idea what's going to happen next. You know what that equals? More explosive plays, more points on the board, and you not having to rely on your defense that, frankly, after Week 11, was not the best defense in the NFL. They really struggled last year. I mean, against Buffalo, there's a reason why there were so many points that were scored, despite the defense causing 5 turnovers, like forcing 5 against the Bills in the playoffs. If they don't force those 5, they're going home in the divisional round. That's just a fact.
Yeah, the defense was not great, especially after J.K. Dobbins went down. You lose that time of possession game because R.J. Harvey was unable to be that down-to-down running back and really control the clock there. I think that obviously has to be much better throughout the year. You can't just rely on J.K. Dobbins to do that because obviously we've learned that J.K. Dobbins can't be relied on to be the featured back for an entire regular season. So I'm hoping that they can figure out the run game, which will in hand keep that defense fresh throughout the entire entire season. But you are right. They were not very good after the bye week there, or after J.K. Dobbins went down. They had one good game, and it was when it mattered most. It was the AFC Championship. Unfortunately, the offense let them down that day.
Yeah, the offense didn't show up. Or the offense did show up early on, and, you kick a field goal, and then you make another field goal before the end of the half. You go up 13-0. Game really changes. Or you just make it on 4th and 1 because you have the best offensive line in the league, and you're able to pick up 1 yard. We'll talk about the O-line, by the way, in a little bit, by the way. But going back to Jalen Waddle, okay, what needs to happen for him to have the best season of his career? What does he need to do in order to have the numbers that Santana Moss had in 2005? Remember, Santana Moss that year, 84 catches, 1,483 yards, and 9 touchdowns. What else needs to happen? Well, Bo Nix has to trust him early. If there's one big thing to look at more than anything else when you go to training camp, and by the way, you could be able to take a look at the first training camp practice on July 31st. Is when they will have fans there. You can see the whole new facility and everything too. By the way, I heard there's some shade, which is going to be pretty awesome.
Oh, is there? I've seen it from the opposite side. I'm hoping that we get a little bit of shade on the other side.
I hope so too, because we all know how hot it gets. By the way, speaking of hot, yeah, Bo Nix, please trust him early. The chemistry has to show in September. Not at Thanksgiving. We need that early, especially with the first 6 games. Bo Nix, Waddle have to figure out a way how to be able to go and connect, and that all goes back to the offense. Look, Bo Nix, yeah, he practiced a little bit during minicamp, but it's different. We have the pads on. So I say that's a pretty big thing to make sure those two guys are able to go get that chemistry together.
Yeah, and that actually makes me think about how much we're going to see Bo Nix during preseason games, getting that connection down with Jalen Waddle, but also getting that connection down with Davis Webb, new play caller. And you mentioned that Bo Nix has to trust Waddle early. I want to say even early in games, first, second, third quarter. Let's not wait till the fourth quarter to pull out these theatrics and the Bo Nix magic to come back in games. How about we're the aggressor? The Broncos are the aggressor. They're leading 14-0 right out the gate. Then you can really let this defense pin their ears back and rush the passer. But I think building that trust early is going to be big. And then just making sure Jalen Waddle's healthy throughout the year, making sure Bo Nix is healthy throughout the year. Bo Nix hasn't had too much of injury concerns outside of the AFC Championship, but I think as long as those two guys are healthy throughout the year and you have at least one or two of the other receivers also playing on a consistent basis, I think this offense is going to be very dangerous. There's a lot of weapons. I think tight end still concerns me, but outside of that, I feel really good about the wide receivers 1 through 5 on this team. I feel really good about the running backs 1 through 3 on this team, and I feel good about Bo Nix being at the helm of all of that.
By the way, we talk about tight ends. Justin Jolly. Just keep an eye on Justin Jolly.
Calling your shot?
I know he's a 5th rounder, but he does have a really good first name. I'm just saying. By the way, I think Justin Jolly, we'll see how he adapts. Obviously, once you get to the league, there's a time that will just take you for you to be able to get used to things out there, right? There's a learning curve out there. But if he could be able to have that speed out there and also be able to catch the ball and create some space, Broncos got a problem out there. I would love to see Justin Jolly do his thing, okay? But you may ask the question, okay, who benefits the most, right? Because everybody would say, obviously, it's Bo Nix. Bo Nix is going to be the guy who will benefit the most. He'll end the season, raising the Lombardi trophy, and he'll sign the biggest deal in NFL history, right? Okay, no, it's not him. It's Courtland Sutton. Here's the thing. You don't make things difficult. It's really Courtland Sutton. Here's the thing. This is the best wide receiver that Courtland Sutton has had opposite of him. And the last time he had it was Emmanuel Sanders. The last time that Courtland Sutton had a quality wide receiver was Emmanuel Sanders. And that's what he has right now. And when Sutton played with Emmanuel Sanders, defense couldn't shade coverages. They couldn't just quote and say, okay, we're just going to go and double team Courtland Sutton. Now it's like, oh, no, we got to also watch out for Emmanuel Sanders, all right? They couldn't bracket him. And what Sanders was traded, well, then Courtland Sutton became the focal point. Dealt with ACL injury as well, but you can't cheat now if you're a corner. Safeties, you can't lean one way or the other. Courtland Sutton may actually be more efficient without seeing more targets this year. How about that? So can you imagine him being able to have more yards receiving and not have as many targets this year? Now that you have Jalen Waddle in the fold?
I like the sound of that.
I mean, if you're looking to get the best bang for your buck out of your number one wide receiver, having a really good guy in Jalen Waddle is the way to be able to do it. And, oh, by the way, we'll say it again. Everybody becomes better, right? Your running backs become a lot better. Your offensive line becomes better. Everybody. Pat Bryant, right? Keep the names flowing. They all become better just because you have Jalen Waddle. So I think that, obviously, if Waddle stays healthy, he is the key to the Broncos being able to have that not only explosive offense, we all know that, but within the first 6 weeks of the season, you could go from the expectation of this team being, 2-4 to now 4-2. That's how valuable Jalen Waddle is.
Yeah, and for a very long time, people around Denver and people around the country have debated, is Courtland Sutton a true number one wide receiver? And now at this point, we don't really have to answer that question because Denver has two guys that can go out there and get 100 yards on any given game. So I think that Sutton slots in a lot better to this role that we're going to see him in this year compared to what we've seen him in the last handful of years here. So I think he's got to be very excited about what's to come here. And I also think Troy Franklin, he took a huge jump from year one to year two. I could see him benefiting a lot from having Jalen Waddle in the building just because Waddle's speed is upper echelon. Troy Franklin has some elite speed himself. I just think defenses are going to need to respect this offense between the both of those guys. And then Courtland Sutton is that possession receiver that Bo Nix has a lot of chemistry with at this point in his career. So I think all three of those guys are going to get their fair share of targets and fair share of yards. And you're right, it could be one of the more efficient offenses that we've seen in Denver just because defenses are going to have to respect everybody in every inch of the field, basically.
Yeah, it would be nice to also put up some points on the board because the Broncos really didn't do that last year. You know, they only averaged just over 23 points a game.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you on top of that. We did see some red zone struggles last year. R.J. Harvey obviously was very good in the red zone. Do you think Jalen Waddle solves those red zone issues as well? Because he is that field stretcher, but in the red zone, everything gets a little tight.
Yeah, everything does get tighter. I would say generally your tight end helps out a lot. But with Waddle, again, you could be able to use that speed to get you open. But what was the one biggest thing that we always talked about with Courtland Sutton? Now, remember Courtland Sutton was a rookie? I don't know if you remember this, but when Courtland Sutton was a rookie, the number one thing that everybody talked about was when it was a 50-50 ball, Sutton came down with it. It seemed like every time it was a 50-50 ball, he came down with it. Well, if you're in a red zone and you have Courtland Sutton manned up on one corner, and the safety can't come and help, what do you think's going to happen? You throw up that 50-50 ball. Let's go, Courtland. Use that 40-inch vert. Let's go to work. And you're going to come down with the rock. But that's the way that the Broncos could be able to do it. And that's how you solve those red zone woes. Yeah, you might throw in a screen pass here and there. I know you're excited about those screen passes.
I'm not excited. I know Sean Payton's excited.
Right. But if you are able to go and successfully be able to go in, get that red zone together, get those explosion plays together, then this team's not going to average 23 points a game. I could see them being like, well, New England last year, and average 26, or even Indy, 27. And that's just 4 points a game. But when you think about what this defense can do, can you imagine this Vance Joseph-led defense knowing that their offense is going to score at least 27 points a game? Think about that for a moment. That's almost 4 touchdowns a contest. We haven't seen that since Peyton Manning was around here. And if you have that, that makes you so much tougher to be able to beat. And that's what the Broncos need. They need that in the worst way. I know the defense is nice. I think they take a small step back. I get it. The corners are good, right? Really good. I'm saying good. They're really, really good. Surtain, obviously. Riley Moss, the rest of the crew. The secondary looks nice. Really like Brandon Jones, by the way. But if you can have your offense to be able to take the pressure off your defense, and then you allow your pass rushers to get after the quarterback, then you don't have to worry about a running game. Teams will be trying to throw the ball all the time just to be able to keep up with you. And then it changes the way that you prepare. Because when you read that Seth Wickersham article, the one thing that stood out, especially when the Broncos played the Buffalo Bills, was that Sean Payton was trying to draw up different plays, fake punts, whatever he can, because he knew that it was going to be a high-scoring affair. But if your offense can show up consistently week after week after week, and you already know you have a strong defense, everybody wins.
Yeah, it really does, and that's how you go out and repeat the success that we saw a year ago. This team went 14-3. I don't think a lot of people expected that, but at this point you have that target on your back because you were the best team in the AFC up until Bo Nix fractured his ankle in the AFC divisional round. So it's not going to be as easy as last year. You need to go out and be better than what you were last year. And I think this team is capable of doing that. And it may not show exactly in the record that you're going to have a better record than 14-3, but you need to go out there and win at least, 12 games this year still?
Yes. Yeah. To win the division, I would say 12 games are kind of the minimum. Don't you think? The Chargers are better. I thought it was really interesting. I'm surprised we haven't talked a lot about this, by the way. Sean Payton didn't want to play the Chargers.
Did not want to play the Chargers?
Did not want to play the Chargers.
Well, he's got to twice.
But I'm saying if you go into when they went to the postseason, that was the team he did not want to see. And so they're going to be better. They're not going to have the injuries that they had last year to the offensive line.
They also have a great offensive coordinator brought in, Mike McDaniel.
I'm just saying. Things are going to change around. Mike McDaniel's going to change that offense, make it more efficient, more explosive, like the Broncos need to be. So if you're going to keep up with the Chargers, who should be better, Kansas City, I don't know. Here's my thing with Patrick Mahomes, is that he wants to come back and play so badly. I understand he's getting paid a whole lot of money too. But you got to think about the rest of your career. And if you come back too soon from an ACL tear that you had in December and then try to play in September of the following year, generally it doesn't work out that way. Not everybody is Adrian Peterson. Actually, there's only one Adrian Peterson. So, look, I mean, Patrick Mahomes he has more money than me. He doesn't have to listen to me at all. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't rush back too fast. Now, when you think about the Chiefs' backup quarterback and Justin Fields, you may have to go and tell Patrick Mahomes to play immediately. Might have to get yourself on the field as fast as possible to help out that offense.
Honestly, for my viewing pleasure, I would like to see Patrick Mahomes over Justin Fields. I don't ever want to see a game that Justin Fields is quarterbacking in.
You don't like him?
It's not that I don't like him. It's just that it's not a good watch as far as quarterback play goes.
Okay, you don't like seeing passes fall down to the turf with nobody around? You don't like seeing that?
No, not too enjoyable.
You don't like to see a quarterback just totally freak out in the pocket and try to scramble, but then goes right into his own man? You don't want to see that?
No, I'll pass on that one too.
Okay, well, I'll take it. It's pretty fun to watch, especially on Monday Night Football. Whatever. Look, either way, Broncos have to be more explosive. And this is the way that they're going to do so. By going to get the rock into the hands of Jaylen Waddle, it will help out everybody else. But you know what else will help out the Broncos if they want to be explosive, especially better on offense? That offensive line. We're going to talk more about that, and I'll tell you the main reason why they are the key to the Broncos' success this season. You're listening to Denver Sports Tonight. Justin Adams, Dante Gomez. It's date night. Go get your wife some flowers. We'll be right back.
With the Broncos bringing back J.K. Dobbins and drafting Jonah Coleman, is there an important piece that fans could be sleeping on?
It just seems like RJ Harvey's been the forgotten man in all this. There were things he did last year that maybe didn't blow you away. He was a rookie. I'm one that refuses to bury a guy until I see how he comes back for that second year. Because for a lot of these rookies, that rookie season is just one big whirlwind.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
If there's one thing you can count on, it's 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. And if there's two things you can count on, it's your smoke detector battery dying at 3 a.m. Not 3 p.m. on a Saturday when you have nothing going on, but in the middle of the night when you're fast asleep.
Come on!
Get 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Just one more thing you can count on. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Summer is a time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your tan or abs. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to decades of thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day, and it can even grow for life. Did I mention Advanced Hair even guarantees your new hair will grow? Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during Advanced Hair's best offer ever. The summer sales event is on for a limited time, so schedule your free consultation and get the details today. 720-459-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results with Advanced Hair. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and get your savings details while still available. That's 720-459-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, to get 30, to get 20, 20, 20, to get 20, 20, to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Hey, Rob Biandino here at BeatTheDA.com. I've handled about 7,000 cases, over 300 trials. Man, I see so many bad stops on these DUIs. Unlawful arrests. The police putting body cams off. The evidence is sketchy. We got to go get the evidence. We go find those cameras. The stores, the ATMs, the banks. We got the experts to challenge their breath tests, their blood tests. My office has over 100 years experience at this stuff. Hit me up at BeatTheDA.com or 720-706-5151.
Hey, that's not bacon grilling. That's your living room at 2 p.m. If your home heats up every summer, your windows might be the reason. Infinity by Marvin Windows protect your home from UV rays, solar heat, and help lower energy bills all summer long. Colorado homeowners have trusted Gravina's Window Center of Littleton for 50 years. Right now, you can save 25% on Infinity by Marvin Windows. Visit them at windowsforyourhome.com. That's windowsforyourhome.com.
The fun doesn't stop at the rides at Elitch Gardens. Watch incredible drone shows light up the Denver sky. Then grab a tube and float into a dive-in movie marathon week, where blockbuster family films play right in the wave pool. Meet family favorites like Blippi and Mika, Peppa Pig, and the Power Rangers during special live appearances all season long. Plus enjoy thrilling coasters, family rides, and Colorado's only combination theme and water park. Make your summer unforgettable at Elitch Gardens. Get tickets and season passes now at elitchgardens.com.
This July, make the most of summer adventures in the all-new 2026 Honda Passport from Champ Honda. Designed for drivers who want capability without compromise, the Passport is equally at home on Colorado back roads, weekend camping trips, or your daily drive across town. At Champ Honda, buying is just as easy, thanks to their one price, one person, 1 hour philosophy, giving you a transparent price, a single advisor, and a faster, more enjoyable experience. Plus, Champ Honda never charges dealer handling fees.
This segment on The Fan brought to you by Denver Roof Pros.
It's Denver Sports Tonight.
Flowers.
I think you might teach me something here. What do
Teach
you do then?
something. What you do is you go get that clearance flower. Right? What you do? You go to the clearance rack and get that thing, okay? You go over there, they have a big old sticker. See, I go to King Supers, right? And they got the big old sticker on the side. And so you ask somebody, within the flower department, what's the best flowers that you have in, discounted kind of flowers and everything. And what they will do is they'll hook you up. They'll let you know, look the best that it can. And then before you go and give them to your significant other, you take that tag off. They don't need to know that you get paid
of course.
the full $7.99 for the flowers. You pay, what, $2.99? I love my wife, by the way. She's about to be, her birthday is coming up on Tuesday. And I have no idea what to get her. I've been trying to figure it out, Dante. I mean,
I'm always a fan, and this is kind of a cheat myself, doing a little weekend trip because that way you get the benefits of it as well.
Yeah, but we're on a budget. That's why I'm here tonight. Hey, but you know what? Let's go to the text line. Look, if you have any idea for a birthday gift, all right? My wife, beautiful, beautiful woman. She'll be, I won't say her age, but, I'm 40 and she's older. Or younger.
You guys got what, 1 kid, 2 kids?
2 kids.
Okay.
2 babies. Both young, both like to eat and wake up in the middle of the night and jump into bed for no reason. But if you have any ideas, let us know on the text line. We'll read them off. You know what Bo Nix would love? Bo Nix will love his offensive line to be healthy once again. Because that's the key to the Broncos' success this season. Look, we talked about Jalen Waddle the first segment, all right? And obviously the explosive plays are going to help. But you can't have those explosive plays and throw the ball down the field if your offensive line is not elite. And I was taking a look, and there was a couple of, everybody comes out with their list or whatnot. And one list had the Broncos as the number 1 offensive line in the NFL. And I agree they don't give up a lot of sacks. Obviously, Bo Nix helps a lot with that with his feet. You don't like the screen plays, but that helps out too. Get the ball out your head quickly. But this team has to improve when it comes to the run game specifically. You can make all the arguments you want in the AFC Championship game. Hey, Sean, take the points. No, don't go for it. I know you called the timeout, Sean. Don't rethink. No. Take the points. But with that also being said, it cannot be out of the ordinary, and it cannot be a ridiculous statement, going back to that South of Ricochet column from earlier this week, for you to go to the AFC Championship game with the goal of running for 120 yards and you not getting there, for the goal of you in the divisional round where your leading scorer is leading rusher rather is your quarterback. That can happen. But the biggest thing to me, Dante, this year is you can't be at 4th and 1 with a chance early on to really put the game away, and you can't pick up a yard. And your coach has to then resort to a rollout pass where you think you're going to get man coverage? No. If you're the number 1 offensive line, you have to be able to tote that rock, create some space. And I get it, right? No, you didn't have J.K. Dobbins. I understand. And you had a rookie in the backfield and R.J. Harvey. I understand. But even rookies know that you could be able to go pick up that yard if you make the space and you make the openings. That's what has to happen this year. For the Broncos this year, I know you want to pass the ball, had the most passing attempts last year. But Dante, they have to rely on this number 1 offensive line who has to open up holes this year if they want to be successful.
Yeah, I really like that, and especially the 1 yard that you're talking about. If this offensive line wants to be treated as the best offensive line, you need to be able to lean on them in those moments. And whether it's a tush push or a quarterback sneak or handing it off to your whatever running back is back there, you need to be able to trust this line that they're going to be able to get you that 1 yard. So I really like that point you made there. And obviously you want them to be healthy so they can keep Bo Nix healthy throughout the year. So go out and prove it, because I've had my concerns about this O-line. Yeah, they're great, and if you look at them individually, they've been great, but it does feel like sometimes when I'm watching the game, it doesn't feel like they're the number one offensive line in the league. You're looking at me and
well, no, because I'm confused because you see you had the concerns, and I'm wondering.
I do have some
not
concerns that they're bad, but concerns that maybe they're closer to the 5th best offensive line, not the best offensive line.
Well, that's not bad. I mean, top 5 isn't bad, but again, for this team to be where they need to be, and by the way, one of the most, if not the most expensive offensive line in the NFL, you should be tops of the list, tops of the NFL. But I don't think top 5 would be bad. It would be bad if they rank out as like top 15.
Oh, yeah.
That's a no-go.
I don't even think that's possible. For this group that they have out there, they'd have to get some serious injuries. But again, everybody talks about them, and they got ranked number 1. But I still, on Sundays, feel like there's something left that I'm still looking for, and I'm not quite satisfied with how they've performed the last 2 years.
Okay, so what's the number one thing you want to see from this team? Like, what's the number one thing that needs to improve?
Be able to have a sustainable running game.
There you go.
And again, the pass blocking's been good. Bo Nix escapes the pocket from time to time and makes plays, which good on Bo Nix. He's very athletic and able to do that. Throwing on the run is a huge plus for him in his quarterback play, but I just haven't seen enough of the consistent run game, especially early in the game when you need that consistent run game to lay the foundation for later.
How much do you think it will change with Davis Webb? Because I believe that with Davis Webb, understanding the importance of a solid running game, understanding of what it happens in the course of a game, especially at elevation, right? We had altitude here, folks. When you run the ball consistently at a defense, it gets to the fourth quarter, and they're tired. Those 2-yard gains become 5, 7, and huge gashes in those explosive plays that you're looking for. And that's the one thing, Dante, that I'm really hoping that this offense really picks up. Yeah, it's nice to have pieces on the outside, but they mean nothing. I mean nothing if you're not able to go and run the rock. We know they're going to protect. McGlinchey has done a great job. Garrett Bowles has done a great job. Ben Powers, the rest of the crew, has done a really great job over the last 2 years of protecting Bo Nix. But the next step for this team is to rely on big boys like Quinn Meinerz and say, hey, move some furniture, young man. I think that's the thing that bothers me the most. Is on 4th and 1, you need to move furniture. You don't need to roll out and pass. And maybe that's a philosophy change that will happen this year. No Sean Payton calling the plays, at least not early on. Davis Webb calling the plays. It's time to go and say we're going to run the football down somebody's throat. This is what we're going to do.
But you think it's going to take a 180 like that where they go from leading the NFL in pass attempts to being able to commit to the run game for an entire game?
I hope. Right? I think that's all we could do, honestly. You really can't say, oh, this is exactly what's going to happen. You just hope that this happens. I will tell you this. This is a telltale sign, okay? Take a look at what happens. When you guys go to training camp, not just you, Dante, but also everybody who's listening, when you go to training camp, watch this period called 9-on-7. You know what that is, by the way, Dante?
I would guess it's 9 players against 7 players.
That's right, my friend. Love the way you have numbers right there. That's that Arizona State education, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Right? There you go. What happens there is that you take out the wide receivers. There's no wide receivers in this. Tight ends. There's really no more fullbacks, but if you had a fullback, going up against the front line of the defense, 9-on-7, and see how the Broncos perform there, especially in the joint practices. How will the offensive line perform during that time? Can they be able to be physical up front? Move that offensive line. Like, move the line of scrimmage. That's what this team needs to be. They need to be that physical unit in order to help out this team, because as much as I love seeing Bo Nix throw the ball, I do not want to see him throw the rock 35, 36 times a game.
See, I just don't know if I trust any of these 3 people between Sean Payton, Davis Webb, and Bo Nix to not make their priority throwing the ball. Those are 3 ex-quarterbacks or current quarterbacks right there. I don't think they want the offensive line to be the star of the show. I think they want to be like, hey, look how cool our offense is. We're throwing the ball all over the park. And again, I hope they can lean into the run more, because that's what wins ball games, especially late in the year. We saw it with the Seahawks, where Sam Darnold's a good quarterback, but he's not. You don't think he's good, or you think he's better than good?
I think he's been assisted a whole lot.
Ooh, see, I'm a Sam Darnold believer.
Okay,
I was a huge Darnold
okay.
guy coming out of college.
All right.
I thought he was going to be the next coming of the best quarterback here, but obviously it didn't turn out that well. But either way, the Seahawks very strategically don't put too much on Darnold's plate. It's like, hey, it's 3rd and 4. We need one here. Yeah. Then we're going to put the ball in your hands. But it's a lot of running the ball. It's a lot of 3rd and manageables. It's setting their quarterback up for success, not making him play hero ball. I feel like the Broncos rely too much on Bo Nix to play hero ball.
Yeah, they really did. And by the way, for Sam Darnold, it really helps when you have one of the best wide receivers in the game.
I would agree.
Smith and Jigba, right? Like, he's pretty good out there, right? I think that's the one thing, too. Side note, on the Super Bowl, I would have loved to see Pat Surtain.
Oh, that is a
Jackson
dream.
Smith
Well,
and
we're
Jigba.
going to see it this year. Seahawks,
I know,
Broncos.
But it's on a short week. Like, it's not the same as 2 weeks of prep. Like, that would have been awesome to be able to see those two guys match up in the biggest game of the year. But in order for the Broncos to get there, it comes back to the offensive line. Like, the guys got to be able to move. They got to be able to do their thing up front, get the running game going, no matter who is in the backfield, no excuses, and be able to go and pick up those 4th and 1 situations. Because for this team to be successful, especially in the first 6 games of the season, man, that offensive line, they have to show up and show out. And by the way, you talk about guys who need to show up and show out. I'll tell you one player that no one is talking about who needs to show up and show out for the Denver Nuggets next year. And no, it's not Peyton Watson. I'll tell you who it is. Coming up next on Denver Sports Tonight is the Date Night Edition. Enjoy your Friday night. We'll be right back.
Should fans and media look past a certain thing when it comes to Peyton Watson?
It's a gamble that you have to take if you're the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, and don't we have to get over the fact that it's a $25 million a year deal? I know it. The money is insane. It's stupid. It is reckless. It is foolish, okay? I get it. I hate to say it, but $25 million a year isn't that much.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity. And when it comes to your internet, you want the most intelligent, and that's what they provide. The most intelligent Wi-Fi that can hunt down and fix problems. Reliability, well, you want the most reliable Wi-Fi for streaming, gaming, working from home, and coverage that goes wall to wall in your home. How about security? Wi-Fi that's security blanket for your network and reliability. Fiber-powered network with 99.99% reliability, built for speed so you can run multiple devices at once, and Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home tie and work together. Consistency, you can lock in 5 years of predictability. 5 years, the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi with our best equipment. Plus, you can get online with minutes, same-day Wi-Fi. Hey man, that's the price lock guarantee. 5 years, same price, no contracts, no commitments. It's all included. Everything you need, including the data and equipment, the most reliable Wi-Fi. That's Xfinity, guys. Imagine that.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. Get a free oil filter and more during the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone, now through July 27th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Treat your pet at Tractor Supply with great prices on everything they need in just one stop. All summer long, we're adding new dog and cat products, over 200. Food, toys, treats from brands your pets love. All new, all at great prices, all at one place. So come in to save time and money. Leashed pets are always welcome. Shop in-store or online. Tractor Supply, your one stop for pets out here.
All right, barbecue fans, Dan Jacobs with Jacobs Law and 303 Law 4040 with something special for you that we're cooking up for the best free meal in all of Denver. Now, in addition to my delicious smoked pulled pork that we serve on nearly a monthly basis and my copycat Chipotle chicken recipe that has a kiss of smoke and is fantastic. Our friends over at Old Style Sausage, a local company that makes these sausages that are custom made for the smoker. Mike Daborski over there is going to give us some. So this summer, they will join the menu at the best free meal in Denver. We're here to help. It's every first and third Thursday. You get free groceries and a hot meal for the night. No questions asked. You just pull up and pop the trunk. It's every first and third Thursday, Smoky Hill and Arapahoe Road, E Hills Church from 4 to 6 p.m. Help us spread the word.
What's going on, guys? Philip Lindsay here. And I know there's at least 50 of you listening to me right now who are thinking about popping that question. And if you're ready for all that, you know you need a diamond. So let me save you time and money by telling you something as simple as this. Whether you're starting your next chapter with your perfect diamond engagement ring, or celebrating a new milestone, or finally just doing something special for yourself for once, this is where it's going to begin. Imagine the finest jewelry legends all in one store together, making you feel just like family, and their service is going to reflect that. So come shop the finest loose diamonds in Denver. They have every size, shape, and price range you can imagine, in the largest selection of engagement ring settings I've ever set eyes on. And not only are they going to share the secrets of the business with you, they're going to give you the best price in Colorado, guaranteed. So why wouldn't you want to create moments and memories for yourself and the ones you love by going to Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver's first family of fine jewelers, located in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue, and also in Inglewood at Broadway and Bellevue. And don't forget to mention my name, Philip Lindsay, when you step through one of those doors.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports Station 104.3 The Fan presents Denver Sports Tonight.
Wrapping things up with Denver Sports Tonight, Justin Adams, Dante Gomez. Oh, man, come on, we got nothing on you, huh? Date night tonight. Hey, I hope you're having a great time. Make sure you get some flowers, whatever you got to do, man. You've been working hard all week. And it's not just fellas. Come on, ladies. You know, fellas like flowers, too. Okay, every so often. But, hey, hope you have a great night tonight. Be able to spend some great time with your family. And we're very glad to be able to go and take you home this Friday evening. All right, the most important player for the Denver Nuggets next year, and really the player that nobody's talking about, because when you think about the Nuggets, what's the first thing you think of? Okay, yes, it's Nikola Jokic, and will he sign the extension? He said he would. He's a man of his word, or at least you hope so. And he was going to sign a really big deal, by the way. I think it'll be like 36, 37, and he'll make like $80 million. I wish I had those problems. But Payton Watson has really been the biggest thing, right? Where's Payton Watson going to go? Is he going to sign for $25 million? Is he going to be a sign and trade? You know, the Nuggets, there was a report apparently that the Nuggets are looking for a Walker Kessler type deal, right? Where Utah gets a couple of picks, a player in return for Payton Watson in a sign and trade. Don't think that's going to happen. Payton Watson, most likely, I say about 90% sure, he'll be in a Nuggets uniform next year, one way or the other.
Or the Nuggets are bluffing and they just don't want somebody to give him a big contract.
I'm just saying. Whatever you got to do in order to have him sign on that dotted line, you got to do what you got to do. But one guy that we're not talking about, who really needs to have a big year next year, is one guy that comes off the bench. Now, he had a really good game in 2025 against the Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 6, and that's one Julian Strawther. Now, look, I get it. Julian Strawther, there's a lot of different things he needs to work on, right? I mean, this past year, he only averaged just 7 points a game, 2 rebounds. But he is your three-point shooter, and he is a guy who could really go and open things up offensively. And the Nuggets, they desperately, I mean desperately, need another consistent perimeter scorer.
Not once every couple of weeks. They need one every night, especially when you lost Tim Hardaway Jr. You lose that shooting. It's not coming back. He's wearing his dad's jersey in Miami, okay? He ain't coming back. So you need Julian Strawther to be able to go and step up. And what are some things that he needs to do? Everybody always says defense. I get it. Yes, that's one of the first things he needs to do, okay? He just needs to be consistent. We need more consistency from him off the bench. Defensive effort, yes, that has to definitely improve for Julian Strawther. Decision-making, what'd you do with the rock? Remember, the Nuggets don't have a lot of ball handlers. Would be very nice to have one in him to be able to go and take care of the rock. Shot selection could be a lot better too. But my biggest thing for him is that can Julian Strawther, a guy who averaged just a little over 7 points a game this past season, can he become that 11 to 13-point scorer every night? Again, Tim Hardaway Jr. is not going to be around. The Nuggets have issues all over the place with the financials. Somebody has to get traded, or you're going to be in the repeater tax and all this other stuff and pay all this money. You really don't care about that. What you want to do is see this team win. And if you trade a Cam Johnson, or if Aaron Gordon for some reason is traded, or if you do a signing trade with Payton Watson, or some other moves that you have to make, right? Then you need somebody who's a bench player to be able to go and step up. And that is going to be, or has to be, one Julian Strawther. Look, I know Payton Watson. He's critical, a defender, athlete, energy guy, okay? He'll guard all the elite wings. He can do so many things. Let's be honest. Payton Watson probably should be a starter over Christian Braun. Christian Braun played his best. I know the numbers say different 2 years ago, but he played his best as the sixth man. Payton Watson, if you could sign him, should be your starting shooting guard. And as you continue to move up, you look at that bench that needs to go and continue to be elite. You need to have that depth. And the best way to do it is to have Julian Strawther be that guy. He could give you buckets. He could give you spacing. And the main thing is he could give you that bench office. Because if Julian Strawther, Dante, becomes that reliable scorer, there's no reason why the Nuggets can't be able to compete in the Western Conference. I know you talk about that defense. There were injuries, young man.
You beat me right to it. Well, even with Julian Strawther specifically, his defense isn't exactly, he's not a defensive stopper, let's go with. I would say below average on the defensive end.
That's being kind, by the way.
I would say that's probably, yes, I would say that's being kind. So, yeah, they're going to need somebody to pick up the slack for what Tim Hardaway Jr. was doing, but I still think that the Nuggets are going to need a guy like Christian Braun to turn it around, a guy like Aaron Gordon to be healthy throughout the year. I wouldn't put all my eggs in the Julian Strawther basket necessarily. I just know the Nuggets have really struggled in developing these kind of guys, where it's really just been Christian Braun and just Payton Watson, and both of those guys are not exactly perfect players from what we've seen. Outside of those guys, though, there hasn't really been much developmental work going on with the Nuggets draft picks.
Well, you know what? You may not be a believer in Julian Strawther, but I tell you who is, the Nuggets front office. Ben Tinzer and John Wallace. And this article goes all the way back right after the season was over for the Denver Nuggets, you know, when they embarrassingly lost to the JV Minnesota Timberwolves. The article says this: the day before the playoffs started, Ben Wallace, as well as John Wallace and Ben Tinzer, those two guys, okay, they took Julian Strawther to lunch at Hillstone Restaurant in Cherry Creek. Then this meeting was, hey, keep your head up type meeting, okay? A vote in confidence for the 2023 first-round pick out of Gonzaga. Look, they want this guy to be able to score like he did at Gonzaga. And I get it, right? It's different being in the NBA. But remember how Julian Strawther was when he was first picked up by the Nuggets and how he did early on in the season, even as a rookie? Fairly impressive. Now, the most he's ever scored in a season was just 9 points a game. But the challenge for him this year is to up that scoring to at least 11.
Up the efficiency as well, I'll throw in there.
Efficiency would be nice. He has a real nice floater. But the player that nobody is talking about, who has to have a big season, especially because of the money issues, that's Julian Strawther for your Denver Nuggets. Hey, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Denver Sports Tonight. I'm Justin Adams, as well as my man Dante Gomez. Date night tonight. Hey, do me a favor. Enjoy your family. Have a great time. And be blessed. We'll talk to you soon.
Looks like the LeBron to Denver buzz has cooled off. Reports now suggest the Nuggets are no longer in the